Sasic, and I'm with Next Best Picture. Hi, Molly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I apologize. My voice is weird, but we're gonna go with it.
You're doing just fine.
Thank you.
I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm very excited to chat about this movie. I have to say, I feel for you, girl. Some of the characters you've been playing lately are dealing with some very emotionally unavailable men. Of course, Iris with Isaac here, Claire Bear with Carmi. I mean, what's going on? What is happening?
I think that it's more that Sophie and Chris both want to explore, avoidant men on screen, and
Yes.
they went, "Who are we going to call? Molly Gordon's going to come in and work through it." But yeah, it's been. I feel lucky that both of these projects came to me in this part of my life because I, I think both are telling stories about women that learn that they don't want to beg anyone to be with them.
Right.
And so yeah, your art sometimes finds you and when you're finding that on your own.
Yes, I think that there are so many really interesting conversations that this film has about relationships, a lot of really hard truths that it does try to bring to light. I think for myself, just this like fear of communicating with somebody, maybe being really open and honest about what you want, what they want, and maybe those two ideas not necessarily aligning. I do think that that is something that is one, very valuable to have in a relationship, but also just something that's really scary to have to get into. Was that, I guess, I'd love to hear from you just some of those themes that really made you want to sign on to this project and be involved in any way possible.
Yeah, I think you just said it perfectly. Those beginning conversations, you're kind of like, we'll figure it out later, but they always end up coming up, right? You're always having the same fight. And I think Sophie had a really intense heartbreak. And then a couple years later, I had a similar heartbreak. And we were both not able to have these kind of closure conversations that we needed. And so she brought me this idea where she was like, I kind of want to make a movie that's talking about the communication breakdown that we've had between sexes, and I have this kind of radically weird idea about a girl who ties a guy up. And I was like, sign me up. Because I felt like, oh, this is a place where I can put everything that all my girlfriends and I are working through, which is that, you know, we can't just blame the people that we're with. Like, we're also not being honest. And I think we do want to hear what we want to hear in the beginning of a relationship.
Mhm.
And love is, what you feel about someone else, but it's also what that person makes you feel about yourself. And I think, yeah, that really was something I wanted to explore. And then also as an actress, like, I haven't really gotten to let loose in this way and play someone that is a little bit crazy and, goes a bit fucking mad. And it was fun to think, if I was 5% crazier, what would I do to keep someone with me? She's drunk, she's tired, and she's desperate. And yeah, it was a gift to get to kind of stretch in that way.
Thankfully, no stabbing involved, even though
Yes.
it's brought up a few times.
Yes.
I was going to ask because I know that you are credited with a story by credit on this, and so I love hearing that. It seems like this story came about in quite a natural way with you and Sophie. Just unfortunately having to go through something very personal and
Yeah.
heartbreaking. But it seems like sometimes the best stories come out through just living through something.
Yeah. The everything is copy Nora Ephron thing. It's like, how lucky am I that when weird things happen in my life, I have an outlet for it.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was just very like effortless for us to collaborate on this. And then, Sophie, it had taken a second for her second feature to get off the ground. And
Mhm.
I wanted to help her with that too, because, you know, unfortunately, I don't really have green light power as an actress. Like, I'm not that successful, but I can help someone try to get their movie made. And it's like a lot of the only way we're going to have more female directors is if like people help push them over the edge. And I think it would be cool if more actresses of my generation were doing like what Nicole Kidman did, where she was like,
Right.
I'm going to work with 5 female directors a year, because that's really the only way to, to see more of them out there, because it's the statistics are just very low. And
Mhm.
but look what happens. You get to have like films that are really from like a female point of view, and I think we like really need them in this time where dating is really hard.
Yes, yes. I mean, just very recently we had Materialists by Celine Song from the
Yes.
female perspective, again, on how weird it is to be in relationships. So this is kind of the perfect kind of like double feature in a way.
Yes, totally. I think that I forget what Dakota's name in the movie is, but I think we would be friends. Iris and her might be friends.
Yes. Yes. You are obviously such a funny actress, and you always make me laugh whenever I see one of your films, and it's so very much true in this film too. I'd love to know how much improvisation you get to have when it comes to a film such as this, or is a lot of the stuff that we're seeing like all from Sophie?
I mean, it's such a mixture. I think, any filmmaker that has worked with me knows that I love to go off script, and I'm a fucking crazy person and I say insane shit. So it was really fun to have my best friend be directing it, because she was like, more, more,
Do it,
more.
do it.
Yeah. And I think, some of the lines in the movie, like, you went down on me in broad daylight. Like, that's come from my own life, and was fun improvs to just like pull from, that I had a space for that. And yeah, and it was fun. Like, Logan's not really an improviser, and I thought he did such a good job. And then he's much more of like a serious actor, so he could reel me in. So
Yeah.
it was like a mixture, but a lot of the lines had even come from improv Sophie and I did. So it was like a, a combo in that way.
Oh, I love that. And yes, that line absolutely stood out to me. I love that. There is at one point when they're kind of chatting a little bit, getting to know each other. She does say that she is a movie lady, and she points out Casablanca as one of her favorites, which I co-signed that. What other films do you think would make it if Iris was doing her letterbox top 4 aside from Casablanca? What are some other movies that you think would make that list?
Ooh, I feel like she's a Before Sunrise, like all the trilogy of all of that, and then, but I feel like she is a Moonstruck broadcast news girl, like maybe Moonstruck specifically, because just like getting to be
Yeah.
kooky and free, and then maybe like all of Julia Roberts, my best friend, kind of, but I don't know, and then maybe like Notting Hill and Richard Curtis, like romantic,
Mhm.
um, but but yeah, I mean, I love anything, any movie with romance. I feel like we've become such a cynical society, so it's Materialist was such a breath of fresh air to like, oh yeah, even though that movie is so many other things too. It's like, I think, I want to see romance on screen. It's the best.
Love is nice when it
Love
is
is
nice.
nice, dare I say. Love is nice.
And with my last question, I wanted to ask, I mean, Theater Camp was such a great film, which you got to direct and write. I did see that there are 2 upcoming projects from you on your IMDb page. I just would love to know when we can expect to see you behind the camera again.
Hopefully soon. We're casting one of them right now, and yeah, it would be such a dream to get to be on set this year, hopefully. So we'll see. I mean, any movie actually getting made and it all coming together is like this magic thing with timing and all of that stuff. So, hopefully it won't take. This took 5 years. Theater Camp took 7 years. So hopefully these will take a little bit shorter, but I will wait as long as it takes.
I'm waiting too. I love Theater Camp. I love whenever you're involved in a project, so I'm very excited to see what comes next.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Of course. Thank you, Molly, so much for your time. Congratulations again on everything.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.